What it do, everybody? It's your boy King Crowder back again with another edition of History You May Not Know and Things That Are Not Taught in Detail for Sure. Today's lesson is going to go over the reason why suburban schools have still been segregated to this day and you did not know about it. Have you ever wondered why you looked at most suburban schools? They have never been forcibly integrated. Have you known that? Whenever somebody referred to the burbs a lot, they have different type of schools and structures because in the law, based off a law in 1974, they have never been forced to forcibly integrate. The law that I'm referring to is Miliken versus Bradley. Miliken versus Bradley in 1974 undermined the Brown v. Board of Education decision when they had to redistrict district lines. They said that it was too harshly to force certain school systems to integrate when only urban schools were forcibly integrated and changed their salary. So think about it this way, y'all. When white flight happened and most people left the cities, most people never realized that once they left the cities, that the suburban schools were then not forced to integrate. They eliminated and forced themselves as segregated schools. You must give all the credit to the Detroit Board of Education that it created a district that perpetuated that they did not have to forcibly integrate their schools. So if you look at this as a wide context, many schools even currently that are suburban schools are mostly 85% white. The reason why we see these schools still segregated because there was a legal law case that forcibly kept their schools segregated. Whenever they focus on desegregated schools, you must look at the fine print to understand the only schools that were desegregated in America were our urban and mostly black centers. Many schools that were outside of the context and many schools districts that were considered suburban had not to redraw their district lines. Now, they will implement and recruit star athletes and those of the etc. to come to their schools, not denying them access. But they were never forcibly or meant to radically integrate their school system. If you ever look at the court case in detail, you will see that it was shocking that the Detroit public school sector was the main one outlining that most decisions to integrate their schools did not need to be upheld. This court decision made it all the way to the Supreme Court, and it was voted 5-4 that it shows no significant variation of outlining schools and making them rewrite school lines. So as we had the Brown v. Board decision on we want to integrate schools, we had a quiet court decision that came up afterwards that said in 1974 we want to keep our suburban schools segregated. So what they virtually did in real time, y'all, as we look back throughout history, you can see the timeline. The timeline is Brown v. Board of Education, we integrate schools in urban communities. However, our segregated suburban schools, we don't think it's needed to bus and send students in and outside those lines. We're going to keep our students that have the choice of choosing to choose what schools we want. We will send those other students into other environments, virtually without saying it, creating a separate but equal school systems, keeping the suburban schools, the suburban tax base separate. So I love to always ask our students and people we talk with, have we really integrated? That's a fine question. Have we truly integrated our schools, or have most people choose to integrate with lower income communities? But virtually, there has been a signal to keep most of these communities separated. Miliken v. Bradley, Supreme Court decision, y'all, went place in Detroit, Michigan, 1974. Read it. It is what kept our suburban school systems separated until this day. That's why you see a lot of predominant athletes going to Christ the King and other school systems, but there is a barrier for those who cannot afford or profitability off their image. It's your boy King Crowder coming back to you with another gem I hope you learned something about the Miliken v. Bradley court case decision, and I hope you learned that we have never virtually integrated all of our school system. We've done it in small amounts of ways, but we have undermined our progress. And if you ask the average person, Miliken v. Bradley court decision, will they know what you're talking about? It's your boy, checking out. Peace.